Hi everyone, in this video I'll be walking through few key branches from my mind map for STS3790. My goal is to explain how science and technologies are connected to global development not as neutral tools but as political, social and historical forces that shape power and inequality. To start my mind map, I begin with models of technology because they shape how we think about development. In the first place, we begin with technological determinism, which argues technology itself drives social change. We contrasted that by technological neutrality, which sees technology as a neutral tool whose effects depend on how it's used. And then social constructivism, which shows technologies are shaped by social, cultural, political choices, not simply by engineering design. From there, we look at major development theories like modernization, which sees development as linear progress towards industrialization, structuralism, which emphasizes state-led industrialization, and dependency theory, which argues global inequality results from core-periphery economic relations that keep the global south dependent on the global north. After establishing these models, we can move on to colonialism, where and imperialism, where science and technology supported imperial expansion through mapping, navigation, and medicine, enabling extraction and reorganization of societies. A key takeaway is that the development has never been politically neutral. It's rooted in colonial histories and continues through new liberal policies and structural adjustments. Next, I can move on to non-Western knowledge and Harding's argument that we should recognize other cultures, sciences in their own terms. Instead of treating indigenous knowledge as traditional or outdated, Harding shows that they should embody empirical ecological knowledge that keeps communities alive without Western technology. This branch helps us challenge the idea that Western science is universal. Instead, we need to consider multiple knowledge systems and how development process often marginalize them. From there, we could talk about appropriate technologies, which critiques failed top-down technology transfers into the global south. Many projects ignore local contexts like skills, culture, gender, ownership. Appropriate technology tries to fix that by focusing on capabilities, local knowledge, participation, affordability. Here I compared high-tech modernization with context-driven design, which was recurring theme throughout the course. The social construction of technology and biogas extends this by showing technology's meaning and success depends on social groups. We studied that biogas case in northern India where different users interpret biogas differently. Farmers, ministries, corporations, and religious actors. The same technology produce multiple meaning, uses, and politics. This makes it really clear that development outcomes aren't technological, they're social. Then we can move on to the politics of technology and datafication, which gives us a major insight of Winner's idea that technologies can be inherently political. Centralized systems versus decentralized ones can distribute more authority differently. When we combine that with datafication, we see how corporate platforms and digitals now shape development governance, deciding whose data counts and who becomes visible or excluded. So development becomes a political process encoded into infrastructures like ICT, platforms, and digital governance. Finally, then I could move on to responsible research and innovation, which helps us think that how we should govern emerging technologies responsibly through anticipation, reflection, inclusion, and responsiveness. But the Global South critiques reminds us that RRI itself could reproduce Eurocentric assumptions unless it incorporates feminist and post-colonial perspectives. So even attempts to be responsible have to grapple with power and structure. So across my map, the common idea is that science and technology are never neutral in global development. They always embody history, values, and power. So the key question becomes how we design and govern technologies differently with attention to inequality, participation, and local knowledge. And that's what ties together colonialism, feminist STS, Scott, ANT, RRI, and datafication. Thank you for watching.